Hi, hello? Hello? It's 501! Hey, I see you! Hey, I can see you, lady! It's for a funeral! My grandma died!
She said, Marquis, this goofy rapper Wooter. Let go of my ego now.
So yeah, this is Chris, director of the Door County Film Festival.
And Kurt Krauss, who's also part of the Door County Film Festival this year.
And we're talking with Tayler Gilchrist, is that right?
Yep, that's it.
And Chad Gilchrist is with us as well. And your film is Buttress. I'm saying that correct, right?
You are. You got it.
Yeah, we had an almost argument about, was it Buttress, but yeah. Maybe start
funny.
with that, because it is a very unique name.
Yeah, so we actually the naming of this film went through a couple rounds. It first like when we got the script, the screenwriter had entitled it For a Funeral, and we sort of felt, and maybe like this was more Chad and myself, we felt that was a little too like on the nose, didn't really leave any kind of room for like, wait, what is this about? Like it's clearly like related to a funeral if it's right there in the title. So one of the words that our director had kind of been using was this word buttress, which like architecturally speaking, a buttress is kind of like a support. And Chad, you might be able to speak to that a little more. So we loved that idea of a support, a structure that kind of helps the foundation or keeps things, supported. And that's sort of the main character's role in this short film. She is sort of that support for her family and the other members, as they're all kind of, dealing with this loss of a matriarch in the family. So Chad and I really, really pushed for a title change, and it kind of came during post-production, actually, because we just wanted something that was more unique and
something a little more programmable as well, right? Because just speaking for myself, you're like, For the Funeral maybe has a little bit of a different you picture something different than maybe Buttress, and we felt that the name also didn't quite align maybe with the tone of the film, which isn't the whole thing isn't heavy-handed. It isn't, you don't walk away feeling sad and depressed. The whole thing isn't about a funeral, although it is. And so those elements all came into it during post, and everyone kind of agreed on that, and we went forward with that.
Yeah, I've always liked taking a heavy subject like a funeral or somebody going through something really tough and taking the comedy aspect, like trying to find the comedy, the how people will get through. And that was one of the things that I liked most about this film.
And Chad and myself, neither of us wrote the script. We can't take credit for the comedy at all. But my close friend, Nancy, who actually is the sort of lead actress in it. She's also the screenwriter. She was doing improv classes, and her husband is actually also in the film. He is like the funeral guy, like
funeral
that
director.
quirky character.
Yeah.
So the two of them are hilarious, and they were taking improv classes, and she, really had gone through this loss of her grandma and wrote this script. And she was like, hey, I kind of feel like this could be like a short film, but I have no idea how to go about doing that. She really, she and and Tom, her husband, were mainly just doing stage work. So she had come to Chad and myself because we have, our kind of day-to-day career, what have you, 9 to 5 is in the film industry. Chad is a DP and I'm a producer now, currently on the post side. But so she brought this script to us, and Chad and I both thought it was hilarious. And so we then brought in Emily Barber, who is a director friend of ours, to kind of be the director piece, but worked really closely with Nancy, to kind of maintain the screenplay or whatever. So, and that's sort of the nature of short films, working on short films. It's, we all kind of have our role, but the collaboration is so much different. So, we all got to be like super involved with kind of every aspect of it. But yeah, I just like we didn't write the script, but we do love the script.
Yeah.
And that's, why we wanted to pursue kind of combining powers and bringing it to life.
So if we were to, in 30 seconds, give us the synopsis for the audience that'll be listening. Obviously, we'll play the trailer as well, but in 30 seconds or so, what's the story?
Buttress is a short film about a woman who experienced the loss of her grandmother and the days and the moments leading up to the funeral, and sort of the humor that can be found in the grieving process, which Nancy, who was our screenwriter, felt was an important perspective to explore, knowing that, stereotypically we see representations of funerals or death or whatever as super heavy, but that's not always the reality of what we who have experienced loss are kind of encountering in those moments.
Explores the nuances of grief in a different way, I'd say, a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you spend the whole movie like, going, God, Mom, just get off her back. She's doing the best she, like
Totally.
there's
Yeah.
the humor of it, but like it isn't really until the end that you actually go, oh yeah, this is her mom that passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the film does the humor so well, but it's also very poignant and very, I think very direct to the human struggle, and certainly in terms too of mental health and trying to be that support person, but also like, I'm a human being and I'm struggling too. And I think you captured that very well. And certainly the performance by Nancy just really hits that home.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was really, and also as her friend, watching her like, be behind the scenes, and the moment of her and the mom, and that is her actual mom as well, in the car together when they're kind of having that emotional moment. Nancy truly was, you could tell, processing while she was acting, which I think is a really kind of wonderful thing about this medium, is like that you can explore those human emotions, even though you're, playing a role. These are very real, human experiences that, whether we have encountered them or not, it's all still really relatable. So that was, pretty powerful to kind of watch that performance on set.
So what do you guys do when you're not making movies?
Well, we have a 18-month-old, so he keeps us busy. It's always something different a little bit, every day. As Tayler said, we love coming up to Door County. We do it every summer. We try to get up there in the winter as well. And that's life is that right now. It's just being young parents and working in the film industry, which is got its own kind of quirks to it in terms of the schedule. Um, and yeah, so that's it.
That's more than a full-time job. So you're able to fit filmmaking in too. That's great.
On occasion, yeah.
We were joking earlier about filmmaking being creative problem solving, and I think I'm not a parent, but from what I observe, parenting is that as well.
Yeah, you'd be
Totally.
surprised how much like overlap there is where, on set you might be like, oh, how do we kind of, block this slide or build this thing or whatever. And then, as a parent, you're like, oh, I'm using the same knots as I do on set to like make a fort for my son or whatever, random things.
How do I get out of him what
he
I
wants?
want? Oh yeah, I mean that's totally parenting right there. Is you're following your kid's lead.
Yeah,
he's the director right now.
Yeah, definitely.
So other projects, is how far along are you in this? Is this, how many have you have you done prior to this?
Yeah, so in terms of like us personally, just sort of making films for the passion, I guess.
Yeah.
I have produced 2 other short films. Chad and I have worked on a documentary film together that we filmed in Normandy. It's like a D-Day documentary about a particular battle. That's in post-production. Chad, also, you're working on another
we've got a couple things that are in like various states. There's a documentary that is in production. It's taking a while, obviously, but it's in production right now, of somebody that's biking around the Great Lakes and is setting the world records. And so we're doing that. We have a script. We have a feature that is set in Door County that we're trying to shop around, raise some funds for, because we'd love to make a feature in Door County. It's the minute you step in that place, it's just this magical world, and it's like, wow, this is a set in real life, all the locations. So we'd love to make that happen at some point in the future. And then our day-to-day, right, too, is commercials, and Taylor's doing like a big Walmart Black Friday push right now, and then I do TV shows and movies on the lighting side as well, and then commercials. So those are all kind of things that keep us busy at the moment. Yeah.
Sorry, we just had a squirrel run between our feet.
Amazing.
I really thought he was going to come running up on me. Like watching him out of the corner of my eye.
That would have been amazing to have gotten on camera.
Yeah, for real.
So keep us informed on that Door County. We can get people to help you up here.
Yeah, we'd love that.
There's a strong community around here that is itching for something like that to happen.
Oh, that's great. We're planning on coming up to the We're planning coming up to the festival to attend in person. So it'd be great to meet with all of you. Absolutely.
Great. Yeah. Looking forward to that. These Zooms are great, but in person is
yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
Well, we have some very fun things lining up for that weekend, and we met with our board just last week, and we're putting it together. I think it's going to be a very, very special event again this year.
It's great. We're really excited.
Yeah, and Chad it's the Gould Theater, right? I've been there to see a play. I've never, I haven't been to the festival before, but I'm really excited because I've wanted to bring Chad. Like every time we've gone, we haven't been able to catch a show, and also now with a toddler, it's even harder. But we would plan to maybe leave the toddler at home this time around. So yeah,
yeah.
very looking forward to it.
Yeah, you gotta take care of you sometimes too.
Yeah.
So true, Chris. So true.
Northern Sky puts on such great plays. They do it down in the park in Peninsula Park. But their inside theater is amazing, and we're just we're lucky and proud to be the first non-play that they ever did there. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
been
super awesome.
a lot of fun.
I was going to jump in and ask what post-production was like on your film as somebody who has hit hiccups along the way with previous films in the post world. What was that like? About how long did it take? We were talking about as we're naming just a lot of the stuff that we loved about your film, the way it was edited together in such a concise storytelling manner was just, top notch. So maybe a little bit about that, I think would be interesting.
Yeah, totally. So we filmed it in November 2021, and we didn't picture lock until maybe like April 2023. Yeah.
The
So it
post
was a
process is
long,
always hard.
yeah,
It's like, I feel like that's where the real love always comes out, right? Because it's like writing the script and like envisioning it. This is like, it's fun. It's part of that, even going through production. And then when you get to post, right, it's like, okay, you're like chugging along. And we were really lucky, blessed to bring along a different collaborator too, who was able to bring some fresh eyes to the project. Our great editor, David Wall, who does a lot of work with stop motion. Actually, he's like a phenomenal stop motion editor. So he was able to sit down and really bring in a lot of new ideas. And then from there, we kind of round robin through that original group. And Tayler will talk more about it because she's a post producer, and so she was able to also bring on some really stellar creatives in bringing our film to Harbor Picture Company.
yeah. I mean, and I think the thing too with the post process, especially if it's like a personal project and you don't necessarily have a timeline or like a client to like you are the client. So we really took our time with the post process and editorial specifically because we wanted to make sure that our director and Nancy as our screenwriter felt that the tone was successful, the tone that we were trying to achieve, because again, you have that mix of, okay, we're trying to portray comedy, but also give this like an emotional journey that the character is having, but also in like, under 15 minutes, because nobody wants to like watch a short film that's really too much longer, because you kind of, can kind of, there's like that happy, perfect place that you're trying to get to. So once we did get picture lock with David, our editor, it was very exciting. We worked with a composer, Johnny Mendez, who did the score, which the kind of inspiration for the score was like Punch Drunk Love, which I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with that film, but it's kind of this like it was, we wanted the score to be like a character in and of itself, to like add to the film. We also have some like original music from Chicago artists that was really exciting to collaborate with them. They allowed us to use their tracks. Namdi is the artist who like keeps coming on when the car turns on, that little bit. And then we have an artist, Bridie, who I think she's like the opening track and the ending credits, which I don't know, when you have good music, it can really like, and not to say that we have I'm not trying to like toot my own horn on this film, but I think we were very lucky with all the people who, were willing to collaborate with us on this. And then, as Chad was mentioning, the post house that I work at, we do advertising and we also do feature work. So I asked one of our Chicago-based colorists if he would be willing to color our film, and he did. So he and Chad sat together and they did a session together. We also had them do the sound mix on it as well. So, I just felt really lucky that the people that I work with on a day-to-day basis were willing to support this project that we kind of just put together for the joy of filmmaking.
Sound to me like you were tooting your own horn at all, man. You were you were tooting
toot, Chris, toot.
There were a lot of horns being tooted there, and that was no, it's great. It's what I love the most about independent film is the collaboration and finding people to
totally
music.
I mean, and like honestly, in that same vein, I just have to tell this story because it's also so crazy. The car that she drives is also like a big character in the film. We almost, like, probably 2 or 3 days before filming, we were going to use my 2008 Jeep Liberty, which doesn't really have much character at all. And Chad and I were like, we can't settle for this. We cannot settle for this. Like, we have to find a better car. So, Chad, you should jump in here because this was your thing.
Back to the creative problem solving, we just were like, all right, how do we find a car that, fits the bill and that, someone that's going to let us borrow it. We had put out the ask to friends and all that. And then we went on a dive on Craigslist and we were like, oh, wow, here's this car that kind of fits the script perfectly. We reached out to the owner and hey, I know it sounds crazy. We're making a film. We have a COI. This is our background. You can look at our IMDb or whatever. And so very generously, he brought the car out, and the car owner also like related to the story, had a personal connection as well. So he brought his car out, and we were able to use that as the character, because the car obviously goes with, it's in every scene essentially in the movie, and it goes through its own change, right? If you can watch our production designer Michaela Johnson, she did a really great effect of, you can see there's a trash garbage pileup, and then it calms down. All these things, all these elements to kind of add to the story of what's happening there. So it's like just one of these little details where, like all the parts bigger than the sum.
Right, I got a little thrown off there because we are out of time. The Zoom is sending me that.
Yeah, it's red alert.
Yeah.
So we do have to wrap this up. It was great to meet you guys. Great to talk with you. I'm glad that you're planning to come up. And let us know if there's anything we can do to make your stay fun. Because Door County is as fun in the winter as it is in the summer.
Speaking of,
thank you.
Yeah,
we're here at the Red Putter, who is also our sponsor for the Door County Film Festival. So this is the off season here, but as you can see, we got a beautiful course behind us.
Is the Red Putter open will it be open in February or no? No.
Way too much snow. Yeah.
That's true.
Right.
That would make it a little difficult to, swing a club.
Yeah. No. It gets so full of. We used to do a tournament on New Year's Day, and
oh wow,
too much shoveling. Way too much shoveling.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Understandable. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, you guys,
thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. We're we're both really looking forward to getting up there and meeting you guys in person and getting to experience the festival. So yeah, we're really excited. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank
Great.
you.
Yeah, thank you.